Niners have a decision coming up. Javon Kinlaw has played 13 out of a possible 40 games over the past 2 seasons, mostly due to knee injuries. He played consistently at the end of this year, but he didn't play well, and he definitely didn't anchor against the run. Should the 49ers pick up his $10.4 million fifth-year option, the Niners have to decide this by May 1st, whether to exercise the fifth-year option on both Javon Kinlaw and Brandon Ayuk. I think it's safe to say Ayuk, they are going to pick up that option.
That's $14
million. Are they going to pick it
million.
up with Kinlaw? Should they?
I don't think they will. I don't think they should. I don't think they can. $10 million for a guy that they haven't, that who's been hurt for 2 years, that they haven't been able to, get right. Probably can't. He has shown less than Solomon Thomas showed, and Solomon Thomas, they did not pick up his fifth-year option. So I think they'll probably handle it the way they handle Solomon Thomas. They're not going to get rid of him because you don't save any cap space by cutting Javon Kinlaw. You don't save anything. So he's here. Give him another chance to play and get healthy, but I don't think you count on him as a starter, and I don't think you pick up his fifth-year option. It's not fair. It's not realistic to do that.
What did you make of Armstead defending him when everybody was circulating those, watching him just get bounced around against the Eagles? And there was a couple of those plays, and Armstead say, "Hey, man, don't stop piling on Javon. I should have gotten over there. It was my mistake." And even to the point where, Brian Baldinger was backpedaling off of his take that Kinlaw looked awful simply because Eric stood up for him. I read that as just Eric is Javon's protector. Like when I interviewed Javon talked about Eric like Eric was the most important person in his life. Like, I mean, they're not just teammates and cohorts on a defensive line. It's like Javon looks to Eric as like a role model and, a very important person, let's just say, in his football world. I viewed it as Eric just defending Javon because he loves Javon. What was your read on Eric's comments? Because he was like, "Hey, man, it wasn't his fault. It was my fault."
Well, I mean, I think it just shows how close they are. Like as you said, they are very, very close, like family. And whether or not Eric Armstead was at fault, I don't know. I mean, I'm not surprised that he would try to take, because Javon Kinlaw was getting a ton of heat. I mean, I've never seen a defensive tackle go viral for a couple plays where he got pushed around. Like, yeah, it was a bad look, but at the same time, it was everywhere. It was gratuitous. And so Eric Armstead is the only dude on the team that stood up for him. And it shows you why Eric Armstead he's a philanthropist. He does charity. That's his nature, is to have, a teammate's back. So I definitely respect it. I'm not surprised at all. Those guys are very close.
Yeah,
I think Javon would do it. I think Javon would do it for Eric.
The Ayuk option, the amount of the fifth-year option for Ayuk, I think was revealed today, 14. Right? It's what is
14.1.
14.1. Yeah, 14.124. Here it is. Yeah, they'll pick that up, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, because Debo's big contract numbers kick in a few years, and so they can afford both of them. But at a certain point, they're both going to be making $20+ million a year. And I was thinking, are there any teams that pay two wide receivers that much money at the same time? I think eventually the Niners are going to have to pick one. But that probably won't be for another 3-4 years. And I think at that point you pick Ayuk unless injuries change that.